continues to spiral out of control, liberals are very quick to come to President Obama's defense. But let's go back in history. The real question tonight is, how did we get to this point where all the gains in Iraq have been lost in a matter of weeks? Now, remember, prior to the Iraq War in 2003, Democrats were extremely vocal in recognizing this reality, that Saddam Hussein was indeed a threat. You may remember this.
Intelligence reports show that Saddam Hussein has worked to rebuild his chemical and biological weapons stock, his missile delivery capability, and his nuclear program. He has also given aid, comfort, and sanctuary to terrorists, including al-Qaeda members.
He may even miscalculate and slide these weapons off to terrorist groups to invite them to be a surrogate to use them against the United States.
Saddam Hussein, in effect, has thumbed his nose at the world community. And I think that the president is approaching this in the right fashion.
Good old Senator Harry Reid, he keeps trying to rewrite history. Now, the tape we just played proves that liberals, they helped get America into this Iraq war. Most of them voted for the authorization of the use of force, but you wouldn't know it by listening to them today. Watch this.
As President Obama and his advisors consider options to combat the threat, conservative members of Congress, or I should say Republican members of Congress, and their pundit cheerleaders are more interested in playing their favorite game, blame Obama. Doesn't matter what it is, it's his fault.
Guess what? It is his fault. Now, what you're seeing happening today and right now is a perfect example of how the administration let terrorism advance, resulting in what is now a lost war. Now, when the situation gets tough, we saw this. Democrats, they retreated. They turned to politics. And what you're about to see is that the party of the left, they will do and say anything about this nation, but, by the way, also our brave troops, regardless of the negative impact that rhetoric has both at home and abroad. Here's what I mean.
There's no reason, Bob, that young American soldiers need to be going into the homes of Iraqis in the dead of night, terrorizing kids and children, women.
As long as we follow the president's path in Iraq, the war is lost.
This war must end. The American people have lost faith in the president's conduct of the war.
The American people have spoken. The Congress has voted as of today to end this war.
There's no military solution to this. We've got to have a political solution, begin a phased withdrawal, and make certain that we've got benchmarks in place so that the Iraqi people can make a determination about how they want to move forward.
That is the type of language that takes winning off the table, and in this case, it helped diminish public support for the Iraq war. Now, this is not the first time that we've seen the left and liberals use downright reckless rhetoric against America and our brave men and women in uniform. Remember what this future Secretary of State once accused his fellow soldiers of doing. Take a look.
They had personally raped, cut off ears, cut off heads, taped wires from portable telephones to human genitals and turned up the power, cut off limbs, blown up bodies, randomly shot at civilians, razed villages in a fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan.
That wasn't true, nor was it true when John Kerry accused our men of killing men and women and children in the dark of night in Iraq. Now, when it came to the surge in Iraq, Democrats, they dug in their heels. They said it wouldn't work. Then Senator Obama put out a statement in January 2007. It read, quote, "I cannot in good conscience support this plan." Well, he was wrong, because less than a year later, statistics proved that the surge not only worked, but it won the war. And according to the American Forces Press Service, the overall number of attacks in Iraq, that was down 55%. Civilian deaths in Baghdad were down a staggering 75%. Casualties among Iraqi security forces, that was down 40%. And plain and simple, the surge that Obama didn't support worked. The numbers do not lie. But even after this incredible turnaround, the left, they still couldn't admit that the surge worked. And in particular, President Obama. Back when he was campaigning to be commander-in-chief, he was out there crisscrossing the country promising this.
Iraq is not going to be a perfect place. I will give our military a new mission on my first day in office, ending this war. I want Iraqis to take responsibility for their own future and to reach the political accommodation necessary for long-term stability. That is victory. That is success. That is what is best for Iraq. That is what is best for America. And that's why I will end this war as president.
Now he lost the war, the insurgency is back in charge. Obama cared more about his political ambitions than he did about Iraq's future. And many warned what would happen if, in fact, we pulled out of that country too soon. You might remember this.
Begin withdrawing before our commanders tell us we are ready would be dangerous for Iraq, for the region, and for the United States.